My Nursing
Hi
Journey
guys, welcome to my YouTube
Explained.
channel. So, everybody asking, how did I become a registered nurse?
Jesus, let me know, but they show no fish. They say you found it, but she's still gonna hold on. They say you found it, but she doesn't want.
Everybody asking, how did I become a registered nurse? So I have to start from the beginning,
Let's
okay?
chat.
So since I was in primary school, they would always ask, what do you want to be? And I'd always say I want to be a nurse, or I wanted to be a psychologist, or I wanted to be a social worker, because I think I carry, my mother gave me the proper name, Winola, and the meaning of my name is a gracious friend and also someone who you could talk to or interact with. And I always people always meet me and they tend to just tell me their problems, or they tend to ask me my opinion and things, and I'm like, I don't even know you. So since I'm small to now, I always, as I say, primary school, always wanted to do nursing or be a psychologist or be a social worker. So it all started from primary school. When I went into secondary school, I had was to choose subjects. So, in Form 4, which is standard, let me standard 4. Form 4, I had was to choose subjects on what I wanted to decide to do. So, the subjects I had the options of choosing sciences or choosing businesses. So I could tell you guys, I have no shame in the game. My sister was always the smart one. She was always the one more into books and very smart, very intelligent, a student, all these things. I was more the outgoing person, but I wasn't like, I was smart in books, yes, but I wasn't as a student as my sister. So I didn't want to do sciences because I was like, I don't think I would excel in sciences. But I say I love interacting with people and I love business. I don't mind business subjects. So that's okay, I would choose big business subjects. So I choose business subjects, and they told me, my teacher, I can't remember her name, but she was an influence on me as well. She was like, why don't you choose HSB, which is human and social biology? And I was like, what could I do with human and social biology? She was like, you could do nursing, or you could always have a science subject. And when I heard nursing, I was like, yes, I would do human and social biology. So I had 7 subjects, CXC subjects. I did business subjects, and I did my one science, which was human and social biology. So when I finished secondary school now, I would say I have no shame in the game. The first time is not always the time you would pass all the subjects. People would say, oh, you didn't study hard enough. Hello, I could ask my parents. I studied very hard and I focused. And I did not get maths and English because I hate maths with a passion. I love algebra. I don't like maths. But I hate maths with a passion. And I did not get maths and I did not get English. Right? So my mother was like, you want to go back? And she said, what? So my mother said, I always remember this. She was like, a young lady needs to have her own things and be independent and not be dependent on any man. So you need to get an education and organize yourself. Just what she told me, right? So I said, okay. I said, all right. I decided. I sit it up, we sit it right. You guys know I'm from Rio Claro. So the school there was Urbano, and I went to Urbano. So I did what I did. I did maths, I did back maths, English, and I did POB and POE. I do over POB and POE, right? So now, when I did over those subjects, I passed my CXE. So I had my 7 subjects, right? So now my mom was like, I think during that time, I was having a recession. So she was like, what do you want to go into? And I was like, I don't mind doing accounting or doing psychology or doing nursing. She was like, well, I'd advise you to do nursing because the nursing is always a job where you could work anywhere in the world and you could always have that, you could always go anywhere and work, you'd always get a job, right? And I said, okay, I'll do nursing. So now, time to choose schools, right? So during that time, I was just home. I had just finished my CXC and all these things, and Daddy organized me to do, I was doing OJT at the time, in Ministry of Works. So while doing OJT and things like that, as I said, I was always a person who loved talking and interacting and getting to know people and understanding people's behaviors and all these things. So while doing OJT, I was signing up for schools, but I also, I have a background of Seventh-day Adventist. I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist home. I still do go to church. Yeah, you might see me with the earrings, the nose ring, all these things, but I still do go to church. But I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, and my mother was like, which school do you want to go to? So at that time, my cousin was going Costard. I'm not down in nobody's school or anything. I'm just sharing my experience, right? So my cousin was going Costard, and I was like, she was complaining to me that going to Costard is like, she have to fight for her subjects or fight to get into classes because other students are having the class too. So I was like, okay. But the thing is, during that time, I went to school. Costard was cheaper, right? And the thing is, just my mother, my father, and my mother is a hairdresser. My father works ministry. Well, he retired now, but he's worked Ministry of Works. And then I was like, I didn't want it to be like a burden on them because when I'm going, Costard you could go to school part-time. You could still work and do nursing. But USC now, which is University of the Southern Caribbean, I see they had the program as well, but they were only intaking people at September time. So I was like, Mommy, it's a Seventh-day Adventist school. I said, I could go to USC. And she was like, yes, but when I was watching the price, it was very expensive, right? But my sister was like, don't worry, everything would work out. At that time, my sister was renting out of Rio Claro. She was more living on the east side, right? So she was like, okay, I will look for an apartment and I would help pay the rent. I'll pay half and half, and I will help her with school and all these things. And I'm gonna tell her, guys, you see my sister? She's the backbone. Tears wanna come in my eye talking about it because my sister, I tell her, if I win $1 million, I'll give her the whole $1 million because my sister, she's sacrificed so much not doing things for herself and made sure I reach where I am today. So big up my sister, big up my parents as well, okay? And big up my great uncle and everybody else who helped me to reach this journey. So that's what I was saying. So now I was like, okay, I could apply to USC. So Mommy was like, no problem. Because with USC program now, at that time USC did have a gate, but gate was only paying for certain things in the program. Compared to Costard, gate was doing everything. So with USC, you have to pay for your labs, you have to pay for books, you have to pay for each semester, you have to pay a fee, and all these things. So it was very expensive. But when I did sign up and I did an interview for USC, so when I did the interview, I was very nervous because I was to write, first time I saw this, so doing the interview for USC, I was to write an essay on why I want to be a nurse. So, and one of my factors too for being a nurse as well was when my aunt was sick, which is my grandmother. Well, I don't say my aunt, but it's my great aunt, but it's my grandmother, sister, excuse. When she was sick, she was in San Fernando Hospital, and the treatment she got there wasn't nice at all. Sad to say, it was not nice. And seeing my mother and my grandmother take care of her better than nurses, I was like, I want to be a nurse and I want to do much better and make a difference, right? So back to the story. So as I say, I had my 7 subjects. So when you want to be a nurse, you have to have 7 subjects I think it's dropped now. I'm not sure how much subjects you need to have now, but I had 7 subjects at that time, and you must have I know you must have mathematics, or you must have. I know some persons didn't have maths; they had POA, Principle of Accounts. So if you don't have maths, you can have accounts, and you must also have a science subject. So even if you didn't do sciences, you could have biology, you could have human and social biology. It's up to you, the science subject, right? So I had my 7 subjects. I applied to USC, did the interview, and got through. And I started in September 2010. I got my schedule from USC. I wouldn't lie, the teachers in USC were very helpful. They were very understanding, and they play a big role as well. And the lead of USC is Miss Wolford, such a sweetheart, right? And she actually was kind of a push as well, because she would always say, don't take nursing just in Trinidad. Try to go out there and experience different things. See how it is, right? And she worked in the UK for years before she came back to Trinidad. And even some of our instructors were from working in the UK as well. Some even working in the States, America. So they would always advise us, always go out there, try something new, push yourself, right? So that was part of it. And then I started nursing in September in USC, and we started, I think our group was 50. How much of us were? I think it was 50 or 40 something. But I know it was a big group, and a lot of people dropped out. Nursing is a very tough profession. Even doing classes is very tough. No lie, right? It's not a easy path. So if you know you want to choose nursing, make sure you have that mindset to be crying a lot. You're gonna be stressed out a lot, because a lot of labs, a lot of assignments. It's a very tough. I think they have nursing as number 2 or number 1 as the most toughest degree, because it come like you're doing school and working, because you have to make up hours as well. You have to go on the ward, you have to go different areas. And the privilege I had with, I don't know how USC is now, but when I was in USC, we went to each hospital. We went to the whole, like I said, each hospital. And I tell you, I did placement in San Fernando, I did in St. James, I did Port of Spain, I did Mount Hope, I did placements, yeah. And all the hospitals I did placements all over Trinidad. So that was like a nice broad way to actually say, okay, yes, I think I want to work there. But I always wanted to work Mount Hope, because I find Mount Hope was a cleaner and nicer environment, which I did go. But as I say, so that's how everybody keep asking, how did I start, or how did I join nursing? So that was like a kind of guide, as I say. So I did join USC, and I did my Bachelor's of Science in nursing, and it was for 4 years. I started in 2010 and I finished in 2014, and it was a tough degree. It was hard. It wasn't for my sister and my parents, and yeah, I don't think I would have been in this position I am in now. So as I said, nursing is a hard profession, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do. And as I say, I don't know how things is now. I don't have like a syllabus of, because things I think have changed up now with nursing and all these things. So I'm not sure what it have to do now, but I don't know. And even it have like, if you have right now it have associates, it have bachelors. I think ministry was doing nursing as well, right? But I was even supposed to do ministry program, and my mother was like, it don't make no sense going to the ministry, and you could just go and get a degree. So at least in case you want to go somewhere else, so move out of the country and work, you could always do that. So as I say, I had you have to have your subjects, must include a science subjects. You must have HSP, human and social biology, you must have biology. One out of the two, or you must, or even if you do sciences, that will work as well. And as I say, you must have that science subject. You must have maths. Maths is a compulsory, English is a compulsory. If you don't have maths, you could use accounts. Because I know one of my girlfriends who started university with me, she didn't have maths and they used accounts. And I know an ex-girlfriend of mine, she did it in Costa, she didn't have maths, but she did the maths in Costa while doing the program. And she also she had accounts and it took her. So that's basically like a small journey of my nursing career and how I'm functioning. So as I say, nursing, it could go anywhere in the world and work. Anywhere in the world. Because they always want nurses, they always short staff. And as I say, you have to know what you want for yourself and what you want to do. And I also said I always love talking and interacting with people. That is just me. And I always smiling. I'm just a jolly person all the time. You must know when I'm sick because I don't feel good. But that's it, guys. Bye. Please like, subscribe. Sometimes I do all that talking and